Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Hey, good morning, folks.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat.
Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are.
There it is, team. Morning. Morning, wherever you're tuning in from today.
Early bird gets the worm, they say. Here at Positive, we offer a 6-star team. It's a team that help you at every stage of your wealth creation journey. There you go. Well, we'll start again. Morning, folks. Good to see you. James is in the house already. Hopefully that, let me know if that's working now, folks. Morning, James. Good to see you, mate. Jeff is in as well. Yeah, the tariff drama. What a bunch of turkeys. They're out there playing a little bit of funny buggers, aren't they? All right, well, let me know, folks, if it's coming through. I'm pretty sure it is now. Interesting. Tariff updates. Chat GPT, AI, political vote buying by giving money away. There you go. Lots going on in the world but what does it mean to us? Folks? Who are we? What do we do here? We have a little bit of a wealth coffee chat, like I was saying before, but I was muted. Jason Witten's my name, and many of you know that already. But if you're new and you're wondering what is going on, this is the morning show where we get together and talk about things that are going on in the world of property investing and investing in general. We've got a property streak in us. We like property as our asset base, and other things flow from that. But we get together each morning and we have a bit of a conversation. We call it a Wealth Coffee Chat. 10 past 8, we talk about things that are going on out there in the world and see if we can navigate some of these things that are a little bit, how's it going? And certainly one or two of those things right now in the world of politics is the world of tariffs and what they're doing to the world, and how we navigate that, folks, is yet to be seen. However, what is going on right now is an election run-up in Australia, and we talk about there's multiple menaces in the world of your wealth, and put it in the chat. Let me know if you guys know a few of these. Hey, good morning, Margaret. Yeah, election giveaways. That's so true, Jeff. You're dead right, mate. As you go now, there's three menaces. There's three wealth eroders. Other than you, if you get it right, which that's why you're here, that's why you get coaching, that's why you get support when it comes to your investing from your coaches. But when you get it right, what are the three big wealth eroders in this country, in Australia, and probably all around the world? What are the three big wealth eroders in this country? Put it in the chat, because one of them, or one set of them, are winding up right now. They're winding up. They're winding up right now, and the old election giveaways, so they can buy votes, are really, I think, a bit of a joke, to be honest. But yeah, put them in the chat. Who are the three big menaces in our world when it comes to creating wealth? As you guys do that, you guys know the drill. Number one, the banks. Now, the banks have no interest in. Well, they do have interest when they charge you your loans. They've got no interest in you becoming wealthy. All they want from you is for you to be on the what I call it, the crack cocaine of your financial demise, which is non-deductible consumer credit, folks. And they do everything possible to jam you with money you don't need in ways you don't need it. And you guys know the drill. We navigate that when it comes to your wealth. The second department, who is the biggest wealth eroder in Australia, is a subset of these. Politicians are part of it. The ATO. The ATO, they take money. Does everyone know you've got a financial partner in life? A financial partner in life that you didn't sign up for, folks, which is the ATO. The moment you start exchanging time for money, or even ideas for money, or creating wealth, your efforts are taxed, and they make it up, and they take more than their fair share, as far as I'm concerned. You guys know the drill. And the third one, which Scott's onto, is morning, Chris, is the politicians. Yeah, the politicians. Absolute menaces when it comes to our world, folks. And you and I making sure we navigate these things correctly. Well, we need to understand a few things, don't we, when it comes to navigating this stuff. But anyway, let's talk about the politicians and some of their policies today. I don't think they're very useful, to be quite honest. And let's have a bit of a conversation about what they're up to in the House. I don't think you can see that very well, can you? Maybe put it like this. It's a bit better. There we go. Anyway, we've got these two malarkeys having a crack. Now, at the end of the day, whoever you're voting for, that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about policies. I'm talking about the idea that fixing housing and the housing supply needs, it's not fucking rocket science. You don't need Einstein to fix the damn thing. You just got to build a few more houses. And certainly you got to get the politicians, the states, the local councils, the states and the national government with get their fingers out of the pie. Now, they carry on about others making the cost of supply a problem. The government is the number one. Local, state, and national governments, they are the biggest taker of money from a property. They win more from a property being built and sold than anyone else, folks. And it's a big joke. It's a big lie where they're sort of over here going, hey, look at this. And they don't deal with their pound of flesh that they're taking out of a property deal. Anyway, so they're talking about tax deductible interest for first home buyers. Now, if I'm a first home buyer, that's a great policy for me. But what does that fucking do? Well, that just kicks the cost of housing down the road. At the end of the day, who's going to pay for that tax deduction at the cost of supposedly $10 billion over 5 years or a period of time. So they're going to say, all right, well, you can get a mortgage and it's tax deductible for the first 5 years up to $650,000 of that mortgage. Some limitations there. What's that do? That just makes the tax bill that you and I have to pay. So here's the drill. Basically, here's what it's saying. We know we're fucking useless at creating property supply in this country. We know we fucked it. We destroyed it when we did some stuff with this APRA investigation. Then along come COVID, and then we gave away money like drunken sailors. Created a construction boom the likes of Australia's never seen, which spiked supply chain inflation like we've never seen ever. Then what happened is builders and all sorts of supply chains shit the bed, and we couldn't get our materials. Then builders all over the country went broke because of that stuff. I mean, anyway, I'll get a bit off track here. It's not going to help. It's going to kick the can down the road, and the cost of that tax deduction is going to be someone else's to pay because the government can't fix the supply chain when it comes to this stuff. All right, giving away tax deduction, saying there's 5% deposits for first home buyers. There's plenty of that stuff out there. This is, I think, more like misinformation when it comes to this stuff. They're trying to buy the younger vote in the election. So, for me, that's not going to help when it comes to the supply chain. Now, a couple of them are talking about the idea that they're going to try and build more houses. Where was it here? A $10 billion commitment to try and get more houses constructed. One of the things that's completely missing in any of these election promises, the big thing missing in any of these election promises or ideas is what, folks? Tell me in the chat what's missing in here that wasn't talked about that we need to talk about, that needs to be on the radar if these politicians are going to try and fix anything when it comes to the supply chain. Who's missing in the conversation? All right, who's missing in the conversation when it comes to trying to fix this issue here? Now, I'm a big fan. I'm going to take advantage of this first home buyer stuff with my kids. At the end of the day, when the government gives away free money, you're either involved or you're not. You're either going to be on one side of it, which is going to cost you money, or you can be making some money on one side. It's still going to cost you money on the other side. You might as well balance the scales. But yeah, what's going to happen? Who's left out of the conversation? It's the builders. It's the construction companies. It's the exactly, Jeff, you're on it. How are we going to build this stuff, folks? Like this fucking blows my mind, right? We've had the worst financial performance of the average builder in Australia ever in history. Last year, record. Now, these are fucking records you don't want to be breaking. Record numbers of liquidations and business failures in Australia. Okay, the government's not going, oh yeah, under Labor we've had record number of liquidations for small business. Record, folks. Record number of failure last year. The year before, another record. Let's break some fucking records. Another year. Record number of builders going broke ever in Australia's history. So they're talking about building 250,000 houses a year when record numbers of builders are going broke. We've got no one getting into apprenticeships. And how the fuck are you going to build them? A bit ranty this morning. But listen, this is the stuff that wasn't and isn't being talked about. Who's going to build these damn things, right? They're going to take twice or three times as long. In Queensland before COVID, BC, before COVID, you could get a 4-bedroom house built in Queensland between 16 and 20 weeks, right? Under 6 months, folks. Under 6 months in Queensland. You know what it takes now? It's getting a little bit better now. It's 9 to 12 months to build a house. Why? Why when we nailed it back then to now? Because there's not enough tradespeople, there's not enough builders, and then the government's on a drunken spending binge, with infrastructure everywhere, and employment in government departments going through the roof, wage rises going through the roof in government departments, and in private sector not so much. So where are we going to get all these builders from? All right. Number two, where are we going to get the finance from? So we've got no friggin' builders, right? And then this servicing issue when it comes to the ability to borrow money, like they're talking about this stuff here. Check it out in here. Okay, well, you know what we'll do? We'll make sure we'll just limit this earning thing for someone earning up to $175,000 as a single. 175. Fucking wake up. A first home buyer earning $175,000. When at age 22 did anyone earn $175,000? What a joke! And then we've got $250,000 for a couple. So, the average person out of uni or whatever, they might be earning $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. Maybe if they're lucky. They live in a city. You talk to me about the cost of living. It's a joke. People won't. That's going to provide support to a minute number of buyers. I think it's fantastic that they've got rid of stamp duty. It's a joke. Stamp duty is a scam. The government was meant to get rid of it when they brought in GST, and they didn't. They've never been held accountable for that, have they? Fucking joke. So where are we going to get finance? Like, the ability for people to service, interest rates are not very high. They're not high at all. They're high in comparison to when, COVID was a 1% cash rate or whatever. But in the scheme of things, the average interest rate's pretty good. APRA, that investigation that the government launched in 2016-17 destroyed the ability for young people in this country to borrow money. Now, I think the world of borrowing has some issues with it, full stop. But this was our system, the ability for people to borrow and leverage. And so what happened? Person who could borrow $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 before, 1 minute before, like next minute, can't borrow anything, borrow zero. Tell me how that helps. That APRA investigation ended up halving the number of financial planners in this country. And, 1 million less people in Australia the following year got financial planning advice. Now, tell me how that's good for people. Like, this is the shit that fucking drives me mad. Anyway, so they're not going to have any builders or construction companies to build this stuff. Even if you could build it, it's coming in at like $800,000 or $900,000 an average new home, a new property. If you want all the grants, you're going to have to do new, right? So secondhand property, you don't get a first home buyer's grant or whatever. You don't get this assistance. You can't borrow the money to buy that. And then, last but not least, the councils aren't releasing the properties fast enough to be approved and developed anyway. Like, they're kidding themselves. The time frame to get these approvals done takes forever. The cost is ludicrous, onerous, and it's a joke. So anyway, I think one of you said it earlier in the chats this morning. They're kicking the can down the road. That's all it is, right? Kick the can down the road, right? It's such a pain in the neck. But anyway, whoever you're voting for, none of them know their ass from their ear hole when it comes to the supply chain in property in Australia. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that supply chain issue change in any meaningful way for a long time. I think 5 to 8 years, maybe 8 to 10 years. And there's probably the longer they wait, there's going to be some more pain at the other end somehow for it to be rearranged. There you go. Anyway, bit of a ranty Wealth Coffee chat this morning, but don't be enamored by the housing rubbish. It's short term, it's one-eyed, and probably, no, highly likely, not going to achieve what they're saying it's going to anyway. Anyway, politics. Better things to talk about sometimes, I suppose, but we'll all need to understand what false promises, no matter who you're voting for, is going to happen. There you go. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted, folks. Over and out. Circle back around to why we're here anyway, which is creating our wealth through real estate. Yeah, there you go, Tim. Yeah, I mean, we've had a few projects in the last couple of years. You're trying to bring some property to market, and it's ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous what's going on. They need to pull their heads out of their ass and fix council and fix builders and delivery timeframes and costs. Now, if it's going to cost more to construct, the time to get it approved and the time for construction needs to shrink. You can't carry it for 2 years and have 2 years worth of interest costs blow up. Yep, exactly. Yep, hear you, Tim, loud and clear. All right, folks, that's it from me. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted for Monday, the 14th of April. Join us tomorrow. The team will be around, and I think it's Tax Tuesdays tomorrow. The tax team is taking on. There you go. The conversation about tax. I'm sure they'll have something to say about the election too. All right, folks, that's it from me. Take care. Remember, a couple things around here that we always stick to. Buy well, don't sell, especially in the first 15 years, unless Andy Fenton says so. This thing's a marathon, not a sprint, folks. It takes a bit of time to create your wealth, but it's well worth it. All right, that's it from us. Hey, but before we go, or as we go, I'm going to play the Property Summit video, because if you haven't registered and you haven't booked to come to the Property Summit in the Gold Coast this year, you need to. We've got a big lineup of speakers. Scott Harris, we've got Sammy, we've got Andy Fenton, Sammy Saggers, we've got Dr. Andrew Wilson. They're live. Scott Harris is Tony Robbins' number one man. Myself and the team, we've got a heap of amazing stuff going on. We're going to play Monopoly, the property game. It's all happening, folks. So make sure you register. Come along and get your mojo on at the Property Summit. Anyway, I'll leave you with a little video. Take care, folks. Bye for now. All right, this is going to be fun. Who has played the property game before? Who has been in the game? Who's never played the property game before? Oh, you're in for a treat. Who likes Monopoly? Did anyone like Monopoly when they were a kid? Well, this is Monopoly in real life in this room. Every hour or so, you guys are going to be up and you're going to be running around the room like maniacs trying to play the property game and win the property game.
Today, I wanted to share the lessons, the mistakes, and the wins.
I want everybody to put up their hands who knows their interest rates on all their loans right now.
If you haven't seen me around before, like 13 years in the industry, in property management specifically.
Who likes paying tax? If you need help finding somewhere to donate, I'm sure I can find somewhere else where it can go.
No, we've got an expression in that, let's go and make new mistakes in the world. Who wants to make new mistakes?
These are just strategic moves that can make such a big difference.
So obviously buy well, never sell. Definitely the majority of what everyone's looking to do is collect some A-grade assets, B-grade assets, whatever it might be.
I loved the idea of being a property investor and developing that identity.
Collectively, they have way more years experience in everything that you think you're trying to solve, because they do it every single day.